Everyone, this is Aniket, and you are watching another episode for Tech Gala. Now, today we have Tanushree with us, and now we will be discussing about outreaching. A lot of folks just think, no, this goal somewhere of code is the end of the open source journey, or is the only open source program they can avail in. But to my surprise, and also you should know that outreach is also one of the other awesome open source program which you can be a part of. And today Tanush will also tell us how you can join in the program without being a proper developer. Like you always need not to be a developer when you are contributing to open source or any such platform. It's all about your motivation that gives you the wings to fly higher. So before we start the session, Tanush, would you mind introducing yourself a bit? That's real good, as the industry shares, like she's not a proper, developer thing.
Mm,
Whenever she's mentioned that she's working with some organization like Red Hat, that means a lot, right? It's not a small organization
mm,
that has been up
mm,
from a few weeks or months. Like Red Hat is something every developer or everyone wants to work on. So
mm,
Tanushi, a lot of folks, even like me, I was not aware of, how what is
mm,
outreach or exactly, how things work.
mm,
So how
mm.
about, you give a bit introduction for the folks who have no idea about what is outreach exactly.
Okay, so as you've said, Outreachy is like even though many people might think of Outreachy like GSOC because it happens around the same time, it's a bit different. So first of all, Outreachy is obviously open source and it loves diversity. So it's for people who are underrepresented. It's for women in tech. It's for men, and it's also for LGBTQ. It tries to get everyone in on board, and it's not only for developers. It's I have seen my coworkers. They are UX writers, they are technical writers, and then they are developers, cloud engineers. So they cover multiple categories of careers. And yeah, so you can just apply to it, and every there are, I think, two cohorts. One is December to March, and another is May to August. And every cohort, there's a different set of projects that are being introduced, so you can just apply and see for it.
That's really crisp, like normally लोग बहुत like इसको कॉम्प्लेक्स बना देते हैं
Mm,
कि आउटरीच के लिए आपको ये
mm,
आना चाहिए वो आना चाहिए, but since you mentioned,
yeah.
you can just get in. That's really good. So
Mm,
Dhanushi, like what do you think, कौन लोग इसमें जा सकते हैं, does college matters a lot, or some of the folks who are just working, okay,
mm,
or some of the folks जो like मान लो बस boot camps अटेंड किए थे
mm,
and कोई फॉर्मल एजुकेशन नहीं है, क्या वो लोग इसका पार्ट हो सकते
mm.
हैं? So basically, who is eligible for this program?
So, अगर boot camp और like college का बात है, then I think everyone is eligible for this because I am from a third tier college, and I am doing this program after graduating it. I just graduated last year. So if I can do it, I think everyone can do it. So there is no eligibility on that, but then there is eligibility on the hours you can put in. So you can check it more on their website, but then it's I think for students you have to put in 49 days of consecutive days. And also there's a thing called you can't apply during the December to March if you're a student. Basically, if you're a final year student or how you have graduated, you can apply to any cohort, doesn't matter. But then if you are from December to if you are a student of Northern Hemisphere, which is also included in India, then you can't apply to December to March. You can only apply to May to August. And also, if you have done any GSOC or even outreach, you have gotten outreach before, you can't apply to it. You will not get it. And yeah, I think these are, oh yes, you have to put in, if you're in job you can apply. There are people who apply during job. Then you must not have a job or an internship during that period of time. You can only do outreach. So Yeah, these are just basic eligibility criterias.
like eligibility criteria को जानना होगा, maybe just they can click on the website and उनको पता चल जाएगा exactly उसमें लिखा हुआ रहता है,
Mm,
so who is
yeah.
eligible and who is not eligible. Yeah, but to be very honest तनुश्री, मेरे को आइडिया नहीं था कि अगर आप गूगल समर ऑफ कोड कर
Mm,
लेते हैं देन आप इसके लिए एलिजिबल नहीं रहते. So okay, so this is really
mm,
interesting, like मेरे को लगा था मैं भी इसमें अप्लाई कर सकता हूँ, but since I
mm,
was a Google Summer of Code mentee, I guess I'm not eligible
mm,
anymore. Okay, so
yeah.
but I guess काफी सारे लोगों को आपका बात सुनने के बाद अभी मन
Mm,
करेगा इसमें अप्लाई करने के लिए. सो
mm.
एग्जैक्टली एप्लीकेशन प्रोसेस क्या होता है, लाइक अगर हम उस पर बात करें, लाइक हाउ डिड यू started applying, and how did you choose organizations, is there any sort of cover letter और कोई proposal लिखना होता है,
Mm.
तो ये कैसे होता है, if you just explain a bit about this.
So there is no you don't have to upload your CV or resume. You don't have to upload your cover letter. There's nothing like that. You just have to. First step is basically I'm talking about the initial application first. So initial application may first you have to give your socials, which is like just your Medium, your LinkedIn, and your profile. Just setting up a bit. Then I think there are four essay questions. There you have to just explain how underrepresented you are in tech. It can be anyway. Like I have seen many applicants who are males and they come here and they talk to me, like, am I eligible? Because in their website they see that only women can apply and only women are selected, but then that is not the case. There are many male applicants, so you can just apply to it, and you just have to explain how underrepresented you are. It can be economically, it can be your region wise, it can be any way that you can be underrepresented. Even in open source you can be underrepresented, maybe not in your technology, but then in open source you are underrepresented. You just have to explain that in those four essays and you're good to go. If like the initial application is probably the easiest to pass, because many people are very worried because they're like, I don't know what to do, what not to do. Honestly, even we who are accepted, we don't know how we got in. But then if you complete all the essays with correct grammar and you do it like how they tell you to do, then you're good to go. You will be selected. Most of the time they let you go for the initial application. Then comes the contribution period. I think after a month when you're selected, then comes the contribution period. At that time, you have to see all the projects. So in GSOC, many people do that. They, before the contribution period starts, they start looking for the organizations and seeing what projects are there. You don't have to do anything like that here. I started after the contribution period. In fact, I started late. The contribution period started at 8th. I started at around 11th of October. So you can start late. You are not late. Okay. Then after the contribution period lasts for over 1 month. At that time, you have to select. Usually, they tell you to select two organizations, and around the two, you have to contribute to them. And yeah, you just have to contribute to them. You don't have to make any proposal or anything. At the end, after the 1 month contribution, you have to list down all the contributions you have done. So for my purpose, I created icons for the UI for Fedora. I selected only one organization, by the way, and it's fine if you are not selecting two. But then if you're selecting one, then you have to give all your best on that one. And I did was I give all the links to GitHub, GitLab. I did in GitLab. So I gave all the links to GitLab, and then I wrote what I did in that issue. And yeah, you have to record your contributions and you have to submit that. And also you have to tell that if you were given that project, how would you go about? So a timeline, maybe that, maybe set yourself some records. Maybe in 1 month I'll do this much work. In 2 months I'll do this much work, and then you submit. All the contributions are then reviewed by your mentor, and then after that, at a date, you will be known that you are selected or not.
That's really interesting, Tanushri. Like नॉर्मल लोगों को ये लगता है कि अगर आप लड़के होते हो आप इसमें नहीं जा सकते हो, बट या नो आप जा सकते हो. सो टॉकिंग अबाउट दैट,
Hmm.
लाइक जब भी हम ओपन सोर्स की बात करते हैं
Hmm.
पैसा इंपॉर्टेंट उतना नहीं हो पाता, बिकॉज मेन मोटिवेशन इज building for the community and while in the community. But काफी सारे प्रोग्राम्स इंक्लूडिंग आउटरीच आपको काफी अच्छा पे करता है, like as in form of stipend. So what was your stipend and what do generally people get that? So let's talk about stipend for outreach some of the time.
So stipend is around 7,000 USD, which is to current rate like 5.7 lakhs. So for 3 months. So yeah.
Okay, so like काफी है, like normally if we talk about India and like as you mentioned like you are from tier 3 college, तो जितना मैंने देखा यार, तो लोगों का इतना annual salary होता है and when you are getting this amount of stipend it is real good. And folks, if you are from tier 3 college, I guess like getting into the program not only is the basis of the stipend but यार आपके opportunities भी बहुत ज़्यादा इसमें बढ़ जाते हैं. So but एक डाउट सब में आ जाता है कि यार मैंने अभी भी स्टार्ट किया, मेरे को कोडिंग वगैरह नहीं आता, एंड जब भी लोग ओपन सोर्स की बात करते हैं लाइक फर्स्ट थॉट ये आता है कि यार मेरा कोडिंग बहुत स्ट्रांग होना चाहिए, एंड इट इज नॉट सिंपल जावास्क्रिप्ट और जो रेगुलर वैलिड जावास्क्रिप्ट पे अपन करते हैं, बट कुछ अलग उससे, जैसे लाइक हम गो सीख लिए, फिर रूबी सीख लिए, रस्ट सीख लिए, उसके ऊपर काम करें. सो धनुषी, हाउ वेर यू एबल टू गेट इन, लाइक because you were into the program with like as it like we can say it like no code selection, right? Because you did not code, you were just like you were designing
Yeah.
things and you were able to get in. So अब काफी लोग आपको देख रहे होंगे इस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे जो इनको कोडिंग आता नहीं होगा, बट क्या उनको भी ये मौका मिल सकता है? तो हाउ डिड यू, लाइक हाउ वाज इट द टोटल जर्नी फॉर यू?
So my journey was actually it's not that I didn't have to learn because I was a designer, because I remember like I had my design journey started after my graduation. So I had pivoted to design career. I had studied in engineering, in electronics engineering, and I thought that I liked being a designer. So I started with Figma, and I had also done an internship and I was confident in Figma. But then when I was applying, I saw that you have to be good in Inkscape, which is a completely different open source software. And I had no idea on it. And also, they were talking about iconography. I had never designed it. I had not even touched Illustrator. So you can understand that I was very new in this. I had to learn everything in this 1 month. From I remember I took no. I used to see all the YouTube tutorials, and I used to draw, and then I used to have very bad um, contributions. I used to tell my mentor that like, how can I improve it? And the community, they want you to succeed. They just want you to succeed, and they're very supporting. So if you feel that you don't know something, it's fine, because even I didn't know. I learned everything from in that 1 month. And I remember my mentor when I got selected, and they see a set of things when you are selected. And one of the thing that my mentor told me was, in fact, I was not the best. There were many people who had experiences of iconography, and even they didn't get it. So my mentor told me that I saw your journey. I saw your journey from when you were not being able to produce the best contributions to where you were producing high quality contributions. And it was in a month, and you had an immense um, journey where I could see you improve with each passing day. And that is what matters. Mentor wants to see that you have that passion, that you want to do it. They want to, even the community want to encourage you. All the community members, I remember, we used to go into each other's issues and we used to help each other. And my mentor really liked it that whenever we had a problem, we used to solve each other's problem. We didn't even like talk to mentor or go to mentor for our problems. We used to solve it on ourselves. So even that was a good thing. So I would say, if there's some tips that if you want to crack it, there's just one and only one, that is, be consistent. Be very consistent. Contribute every day. I used to contribute every day, at least one contribution. So I used to contribute every day, and I used to talk to people, solve their problems, even though it was not my business. But then I used to tell them that, see, you can improve in this. How about this? So be kind, be giving towards the community, and you have a lot more chance to get selected.
any other experience, like any fun thing or anything which changed your life, while you were in the outreach, or कुछ भी जो आप mention करना चाहते हो.
So, one thing that really changed my life was I got a lot of connections. I was even though I got selected in the internship, I'm still learning new things. That is the thing. You have to grow. You have to be in that growth mindset all the time. Like, if you are here, you have to do something that is very different. You don't know it. It's fine. Take advice, take help. You will do very bad in your first attempt. Just do it. Just give your attempt, and then ask for your advice from others. And I remember even after the contribution period had ended, we were all friends. We were all cheering for each other that, yeah, let's do it, let's do this. And there are many friends that I still have to this day, and they always cheer me on, and I always encourage them to apply again. And they have a lot better chance of getting selected because my mentor knows them. So I would say if you're not selected, it's fine. Happens because there's a very cutthroat competition. Not everyone who is selected are the best. Maybe they just performed something better one day. That's why they got selected. But then just stick to that community, because for me, like Fedora, every year Fedora comes with some projects related to design, related to other things. So stick to that community. You may find yourself in your next attempt. I had one coworker who had given Outreachy for 3 times, and they finally got in, and they stuck to that one community, and they finally got in. So just be in that growth mindset, and don't go for looking for money or anything. Go for your growth. Like, I remember I was happy even if I was not selected, because I had learned so much in that 1 month period that I was ready for another job. So go for your skills, go for to learn something, not to be like, okay, I didn't get in, okay, I'll just leave it. Go, so that I didn't even know how to use a GitHub or GitLab. I learned it all. So if I can do it, I believe everyone
That's
can do
quite
it.
humble of you, Tanushree. Like, जैसे आपने बोला कि अगर मैं कर सकती कोई भी कर सकता है, दैट्स रियली रियल गुड. सो अगर हम टिप्स के बारे में बात करें एज ऑफ नाउ, लाइक जितना मेरे को समझ आया अभी तक कि टॉकिंग द एप्लीकेशन प्रोसेस, पहले आपको ऐसे क्वेश्चंस वाले जो राउंड होता है, दैट इज मोस्टली आई गेस नोइंग मोर अबाउट योरसेल्फ व्हेन यू राइट अबाउट यू, के बारे में, लाइक यू राइट सम ऐसे क्वेश्चंस एंड थिंग्स. पोस्ट दैट आपको कंट्रीब्यूशन फेज आता है. सो इन दोनों फेज में अच्छा करने के लिए समवन who has never done that before, like जैसे मेरे को आइडिया नहीं है आउटरीच होता क्या, I've never applied for that. So some tips for the applicants who are applying, how to perform, like we can say, like 3 tips, like let's keep it short, like 3 tips for applicants for the first essay wala round and then contribution wala round. So what will be your take on that?
The initial application, 3 tips will be, take examples from your life. Don't go by any example. Don't, like, there is no right or wrong answer. Okay, so first tip is just take examples from your life. Just think about where you were held back in your life and underrepresented. It can be any time. It doesn't matter your gender or anything, but then you have to understand where you stand in your society. How could you have you done better if you were somewhere else? So think about that and write about that. Second is use good grammar and spelling. And third is complete every essay. Don't leave any essay. Like, most of the time they only don't shortlist them who had not completed their essays. So complete every essay, even if you write a sentence or 2 sentence, and even if you don't find any example, just write something on those on those 4 questions, and yeah, you'll be set. And now, for the contribution period, my 3 tips will be: be consistent. Be very very consistent. Whatever you do, be consistent. Don't leave midway. I know I had this problem because I left midway and I was not there for a week. And I remember there were some people in the community, they were like, hey, where are you, you should do it. So they want you to succeed. So just be consistent. Don't give up on yourself. You are your biggest enemy. So don't give up on yourself. Just be consistent. Contribute every day. It doesn't matter if you're not selected. Give your best. I think my mentor mentioned that if you have more accepted contributions, you have better chance of getting selected. I had none. I had none accepted contributions. I was like, yeah, I am not getting selected at all. But then I got selected. So yeah, just keep on contributing. Don't expect anything in return. And second is, have a very growth mindset. Have, like, if you are to if the mentor says that, yeah, for this contribution do something different, do it, try it out. It's fine if it's bad, but then just try it out. And third is, be very active in the community. It's very important to be active in the community. There are people who used to just contribute and just go, but then mentor didn't know them. The mentor needs to understand that if they are rejecting you or if they are not considering you, you are a person, you are a human being, and you're not just a name or a number. So make them feel, have them your presence, talk to them directly or indirectly. I used to talk to them most of the time in the group, and they used to respond. So even if they don't respond, just talk to them, make them feel that you are in the community, you feel like family. So yeah, these are
Okay,
my
that
tips.
want to add on something in whatever you said, or any final thought which you want to add on?
Final thoughts will be like, see, the first step is the hardest step, I would say. Like, I remember that when I was initially applying, I used to also ask myself constantly if I can do it, because I always see the developers and the codings, and I didn't know anything. So take that first step. It's like, even Outreachy in their post always says, just apply. Just apply. It doesn't matter if you don't know anything. Just apply. So take that first step. That first step is the hardest, but then after that it gets very sorted out. Get into that flow. You are pumped up and you're like, yes, I can do it. So yeah, just get into that flow. If you get into that flow, you'll be set for it. And also, um I think many people have also asked me if you need to learn GitHub or GitLab. I would say don't, because there are many projects who require GitLab. There are many projects who require GitHub, and there are many projects that don't require anything. So there are projects for technical writers that only have to be done in their documents, in their Word documents, or any open source alternative to that. So I would say you don't have to learn anything for now. Just get into that community, and you can learn it in a day or two.
The
Mm,
socials will be there, so do check them out. I guess she's a really good person. Like, you can contact her anytime, and I guess she
mm,
will be answering most of the questions that she will be receiving. So thanks a lot, Tanushree. And so, folks, if you have any questions, do mention that in the comments or reach out to Tanushree or me, and I will be trying to answer those questions that you have. And have been
mm.
new, I would have considered subscribing. So thanks a lot, and bye bye.